David McKillips is resigning his CEO role at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yay, the brand is saved! Maybe we'll get the animatronics again!
Alright, people. Let's be civil here. Yeah, let's be civil about an Anthro Mouse mascot for children. Oh great, another video of me yapping about CEC's bleak future. However, this time, instead of rambling about AI slop again, it's time we talked about something that's a bit more important. A while ago, there were many recent articles posted about David McKillips' resignation from being the CEO of CEC. He even posted on his Instagram thanking the company for the 6 years he's been there. After this utterly abrupt decision was announced, many members of the fandom, including folks of the general public who aren't in the fandom, thought it was a good idea to spam GIFs and comments expressing how good of a decision this was. Well, I'm just here to give you all a quick reality check and inform you people that, no, that's not how business works. Like, dude, I'm not a fan of the current direction CEC has gone in recent years either, but are you forgetting that the people running this company are humans with emotions, like you and me? And on top of that, cheering over someone who's now out of a job is not only very immature, but incredibly malicious. It's gotten a bit out of hand to the point where David even removed the comments from his announcement post. Same issue with how there were a shocking number of fans that got excited when Doug Bowser stepped down from being the president of Nintendo and went on to be one of the board directors for Hasbro. A big shot resigning their position from a big and well-known company doesn't immediately result in the company changing for the better. Heck, the company could get worse for all we know, but I'm just spitballing here. And no, it's not due to David's name being coincidentally mentioned in the Epstein files. The company themselves even confirmed it was coincidental. And while we're at it, even if they won't listen, it needs to be said regardless. Don't make jokes about the Epstein files. It's not funny, and it's offensive to the poor folks that were tortured in that situation. Say what you want about Mr. McKillips, but he kinda did do good for the franchise in some capacity, if you can believe that. He saved the restaurants from going out of business in 2020, but unfortunately, yeah, that's mostly it. They also mentioned that McKillips' replacement will be Scott Drake, who was already a member of the company since 2024 as the chief financial officer. Whoops, wrong picture. There's really nothing to go off of in terms of how much he'll impact the company, obviously, but considering how big David already had it since 2020 and how Scott is already familiar with the brand, we could suspect a surprise or two. As for the path David plans to go after stepping down from this role, he hasn't mentioned what he'll do as of now. Though, seeing as he's got quite the resume, like being a president for Six Flags, a vice president for DC Comics in the past, and more, he can truly do something greater. So I know David may have enjoyed his time as CEO, but being real, he didn't do a great job running CEC. That said, he doesn't deserve the hate he's been getting, even before the announcement. At this point, the only way we can really show the company how much we care about the animatronics are by going to the legacy stores, which funny enough fans haven't been doing since there's very little of those at the moment. Look, it's plain and simple. We gotta face the fact that the animatronics just don't have a chance at returning either way. That's how I viewed it for a while. It wouldn't be as much of an issue if the company actually lived up to some of the changes it's made and take advantage, like instead of the animatronics, they could have just had something equally cool. But nope, it's just an interactive dance floor with lights and trampolines that need to be paid to use, when the sky tubes and ball pits were free back when those were still a thing. Then there's the elephant in the room, Adventure World and its excessive use of, say it with me, AI. Even without the blatant use of artificial intelligence, you can clearly tell how cheap they've been getting at this point with Adventure World. Still, the company has already gone pretty far with most of their recent decisions and spent tons of money on it already, so just returning to their roots now would cause the company to lose even more money. The real problem here is how the company sees the fandom, though I think all they really see is the money in the pockets of parents. Guys, just keep in mind that this is a company and needs to make money, which isn't just the sad reality Chuck has to face, but many organizations today moreover. It's not unusual for fans to think being brash with your opinions and keeping the things they love in high regard will save the brand. My main point is, companies are not your friend. They are a business that want their money. They don't exactly care how much you love the bots or how much you prefer the design of Avenger over Rockstar. Bland, basic, and boring just seems to be the ongoing norm for fast food chains moving forward, and frankly, it's kinda stupid how people point this out only for CEC, but not for any other establishment. Overall, despite every decision they've made, Chuck E. Cheese is still so bewildering that it's like they're actively trying to fail. Their choices are baffling, while their bank account sits and weeps as they continue to go debt. At this rate, expect the mouse to be evicted from existence in 4 to 5 years. The potential was there, but amounted to nothing all in all. Do they still have a chance to fully bounce back? maybe, but until then, we'll just have to continue watching this lovable mascot struggle with having an identity.
I hope you know what you're doing, Scott.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have Chuck E. Cheese memes and reels to see on TikTok and Instagram. Okay, bye.